आप हमारे साथ क्यों काम करना चाहती हैं?
बड़ी सी कोठी, पैसा, money, cash.
I would say that there's a lot more to the show than just the trailer. In fact, when I saw the trailer, I thought to myself, oh, this is not even close to how amazing and how groundbreaking the show actually is.
नेक परवीन नौटी बनने के लिए नकाबों की दुकान खोलेगी.
That's a burqa, sweetie.
Are you concerned about how people will react and whether there might be a kind of backlash to this at all?
That's a very interesting question, because if you ask me, really, this is the moment I've been waiting for my entire life. I've always been the sort of person who wanted to be controversial, because I understood that, the idea of just women coming out and being themselves was such an anomaly in my part of the world that, women breaking these barriers, it's not something that we're used to.
अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका शौहर बेवफा है और आपको सबूत चाहिए तो आप हमें कॉल करें.
जासूसी?
मैं हाजिर हूँ बाजी.
And all the other previous work that I've been doing on local television has always been about regurgitating, age-old ideas and like centuries-old norms of patriarchy. And this web show, Churails, is all about dismantling these patriarchal structures, which I had been previously reinforcing with all the other shows that I had been doing. It's really a welcome change for me, and also a life-changing experience for an actor who also has very strong opinions about how women should be viewed in cinema and in all the content that we've created.
लड़की गरीब ऊपर से नाम रख दिया Zubaida.
I understand you did some physical training for it. You learned some boxing and all that. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. That was a requirement. Zubaida is an aspiring boxer. She's really passionate about what she does, and she belongs to the ghetto. She doesn't let her parents know that she's boxing with her mentor.
एक boxer.
Something happens, and then her parents find out about it, and then they kind of beat her to a pulp, and they disallow her from doing any of this. And eventually she gets rescued from one of the Churails, after which she runs away with her, and then they start this vigilante group, this agency called Churails. She's the brawl of the group. She's the one who kind of carries out the justice that is being caused in society. And she's really passionate about helping women out who are in distress, because she's also been a victim of a lot of cruelty in her life. I think it was the hardest thing to do for me, because although I'm a really physically active person, I'm a dancer myself, but boxing is a whole other ball game. And it meant that I had to be okay with getting injured very frequently, because there aren't many actual stunt trainers or like actual stunt doers in Pakistan. So I really had to learn I really actually had to go to the ghetto of Karachi. It's called Liari. And I actually had to learn from actual female boxers there.
Wow.
And because they only knew how to box in real life, they were actual boxers. I also ended up getting hurt because, they didn't know how to act.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you think Zubaida as a character taught you?
There's a lot of things that were already present in me before, but I think the one thing I've really learned is that, as women, we've been told that we're physiologically weaker than men. And we've kind of also accepted that position of being inferior in terms of our physiology. But I think having done Zubaida, I feel like that's not entirely true at all. Apart from the equal opportunities that we deserve, I think we also deserve to be seen as someone who can really kick someone's ass if need be,
Is there any aspect of Zubaida you didn't like, that you were a little bit, put off by? Because you sound very in tune with the character, but was there anything you couldn't identify with?
I think the fact that she was combative was something that I could not identify with. I think it's something also that I learned from her. I think that I used Zubaida to fill in the cracks of, my flaws actually, because I feel like I wasn't so combative. And now I am. I feel like now I'm angrier because of having done a character like
Right.
Zubaida. And I feel like it's only right to be angry at this point, because women have been subjugated for so long, from time immemorial.
Yeah.
And I've also been a part of doing shows that are very regressive in terms of how women are viewed. So I was also angry at myself for having done this,
Right.
all of this before this series, and I was also angry at what I was being made to do. And so I've just generally become angrier. But I don't think that's a bad thing.
हमारी छोटी सी चिंगारी जंगल की आग की तरह फैली.
Would you like to be in another web series? Are you looking at your next career options afterwards?
This show in particular will be really good for my career trajectory in terms of what I've always wished for. And I've always hoped for content, to be a part of content that doesn't have a lot of censorship issues. Because in our part of the world, of course, we've had to deal with that frequently, where, a lot of what writers want to say or what actors want to be a part of is very watered down. So I think that being, sort of foraying into this, I think it's a really good move for me. And I think I'd like to do more of content like these, like be it films, be it web shows. But I think I'd definitely like to sort of stray away from television for a bit. Our stories are really just set in like a lounge or drawing room, or just, they're all centered around domestic issues. And that's what I really want to get out of. And I don't want to keep reinforcing these values where women are just asked to be, women are just, glorified house help really in our show.
I need this, Jamila. I need this more than I need you, more than I need my kids, and that is the honest truth.
Do you think women will be able to identify with the main characters who are running the agency?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of women all across the globe who will be able to relate to this, especially women in the South Asian diaspora. For women all around the globe who don't belong to South Asia, I think this will be a way for them to understand the kind of problems that women in the third world countries go through, and also kind of spark this wave of empathy where, women all across the globe sort of want to stand up for each other and help each other out, and they can be from any part of the world. This is going to spark a revolution which is not going to be led by one woman or two women. It's going to require a lot of people's support, and a lot of women and a lot of male allies also. I think it's especially important for men to also be viewers of this show. I've also said this before, that, it's important that men watch it.
Sure.
Because we want to change their opinions about how we require their help.
I want to achieve something new in life.
तुम्हें कौन hire करेगा?
I am a qualified lawyer.
Yes, but you're rusty.
The least that it has done already is that, it sparked a debate. So when I go to YouTube and I see the comments underneath the trailer, there are people who agree with this idea. There are people who are anxiously waiting for this idea. And then there are people who are completely opposed to these ideas. And they're all coming together and having a conversation. And sometimes that conversation has a very learned conclusion. And sometimes it results in a fight. But the fact that it's being talked about and sparking an outrage, I think it's the first step towards something big happening.
Do you think Pakistan is ready for a series like this?
I think it was high time that a series like this was created. I think it's the series that Pakistan needed. I was kind of sad that this is the first time that something like this is happening, but I also think there was high time that something like this was created. And I'm also thrilled that we're going to be the torch bearers of this movement here in Pakistan and all across the globe.
And it must be exciting to be part of an ensemble cast and showing the talent that is in Pakistan, and maybe this will lead to bigger and even grander projects and more creative productions, web shows, international productions perhaps.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's how a region's work and a region's artists are presented globally on a platform. I think this is the only way to go forward. I think this is the only way our industry can become bigger, when other people from all across the globe will get to view what we are and how we make content and how talented we really are. I think the world hasn't been able to see that so far, and I feel like collaborations like these are what make an industry grow. And I feel like this is the beginning of a digital revolution in Pakistan.